morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the call this morning. Wow, 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 wow. Rock my world. It's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody out there. We want to thank everybody for being on the call this morning. We thank you all. As you know, we got a great call lined up. This whole week is amazing. And I sent the text out to everybody just recently about the flyer that we had Mr. Nelson on for every day and Friday in June. On Mondays, Mr. Russell, we got your flyer going out as well, dear. We got one made up for you as well. And we want to thank everybody out there. So we'd like to, first of all, thank Ms. Jocelyn Driscoll, Regional Vice President, Platinum, on the call on what day. Regional Vice President, Mr. Byron Baker in Las Vegas. Mr. Marvin Carter, what a wonderful job you did last night on the 1 through 10, sir. Thank you so much. We'd like to thank all our IBOs over in Japan that are joining us, in Okinawa. And we have some people over in Europe joining, as well as Australia, as well as over in India, that are joining the call today. So we got a great call lined up today. And remember, tonight at 6 o'clock p.m., right back here, we're having happy hour with Al Thomas. Bring whatever your libation may be, but we're here to help you build your business. I've got a gentleman, as you well know, who's going to be doing our talk today. He doesn't need an introduction, but yes, he does need an introduction, because everybody needs an introduction, because we have people on here maybe we never heard him before, and we're going to do the right way, and the right thing to do is have his introduction. See, I got a layout on everybody that I have on my call. I have a way of introducing people to a point that give them the respect that's due to them. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, those that have never heard this young man speak before, he was, matter of fact, Mr. Bree Clemens. I have a little something special I'd like you to get ready to put up. Well, no, we'll do it. Well, no, never mind. Well, I'd like to introduce this young man. Let me make sure he's on here, because I just texted the flyer and he went crazy when he saw his flyer. Just right now. Okay, grabbing his coffee. Okay. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Is he on here? Let's see. Let me see, because I know he's just grabbing his coffee. Everybody just sit tight for a second. Let's for a second. Oh, look at the numbers jump on here. There we go. Ms. Soros, thank you so much up there. And I thank you so much. All right. Is he on? Somebody let me know, is he on? Because there's a lot of you folks on here today from all over the world. My God, look at this. Is he on? Not yet. Okay, thank you, Ms. Ismail. I know she would let me know. Well, listen, folks, I want to tell you guys something. Now that we launched AT&T for ACN this week for customers, let's go out there and get a bunch of them. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a great time with our happy hour tonight. And then tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, that's right, I'm going to be doing a leadership on Saturday. I've been talking about thinking big. So I'm going to roll out something else this weekend. If you didn't get a chance, go back to the channel. Go back to the channel and watch it on Destiny International. And I want you to watch what I did last Friday night. It was mind-boggling. It was amazing. And then Sunday night at 6 o'clock, we'll be back with a training session. Yes, at Sunday at 6. So with that said, and Saturday and Sunday, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we do presentations right here on this Zoom call. Well, listen, folks, let me tell you about this young man that's coming up. He's one of the early IBO in ACN. He's a father. He's a community leader. He's a thought leader. He's a mentor to a lot of people. He also has several RVPs and SVPs in his organization. I mean, he's been around ACN. I've been over 25 years. Yeah, he's been a long time. His promotion was just absolutely one of the most breathtaking promotions we've had in ACN. I think the only one that he topped the one that I like, which is Mrs. Martin Cerruto. If you get a chance, go back and look at Martin Cerruto's promotion, his RVP. That was phenomenal. But he came out with Mr. Marvin Sapp, gospel singer, brought the house down, that eye in the house. Everybody was flown away. Yes, Miss Driscoll, that was amazing, wasn't it? He had Les Brown right next to him there on stage. He'd been in Nectar Island a week or two prior with Richard Branson. I mean, who to who? I mean, we spent some time in the Bahamas. And also Mr. Lance, I think Mr. Lance is on here, and Mr. Lance and I and Mr. Nelson spent some time together. And you know, one of the things I want to talk about, a gentleman I'm going to be talking about in the future here, is a guy named Dr. Miles Monroe. And I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you. You know, as we did our trip to the Bahamas, our last RVP trip a couple years ago, I got a limo and I took Mr. Lance with me to Bahamas. We went to the ghetto. And I'm going to tell you about that story some other time, because we got a lot to share with you on that, because everybody else is enjoying themselves. I want to go pay homage to one of the dear men who's had one of the phenomenal books on relationships I've ever read in my life. And we'll get to that some other time. But right now, The man of the hour, he is on. He's ready. He's got his cup of coffee. He's fired up. Without further ado, the one and only Mr. Nelson.
I wanted to hear the story about Dr. Miles Monroe. I'm coming on in 2 seconds. I'm almost there. Dr. Miles Monroe is the one who identified me in Washington to be able to have the talent to actually go ahead and pursue the career we're in now. He is, please do share that story, because he is the one who actually, before I met Mr. Les Brown, actually sat me down and told me the gift that I had that speaks greatness into every man and woman, not like I was greater or more talented, but identified the talent and the greatness in me as a human being, just as a human being. And he said everything else is a gift, but really made me realize the power of becoming superhuman, and that's just human doing super things. And I would love for you to be able to share that story.
All right, hold on 1 second. Mr. Bree Clemens, I want you to post that picture of me and you know who. I want Dr. Miles. Let me tell you, we had a lot in common as far as how we traveled. Let's just put it that way without getting in trouble. We had a lot in common. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing some teachings, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we spent some time together before. And I tell you what, when I got in the limo, I told Mr. Lance, because Mr. Lance, I took him with me to the Bahamas. And as you well know, Mr. Nelson, you looked out for me. I was there before I got back, because I was in Mexico. Prior to that, I was in Japan the week early. So that week, that last 10 days, I was in three different countries. I was in Japan for 12 days. My partner in real estate got married in Mexico. So from there, I went back to Vegas, changed clothes, and then went to Bahamas. So I had 3 countries within 2 weeks worldwide, but people don't understand. And I took Lance. I said, we're going to go. We're going to get a limo, and I want to take you somewhere. So we went down to Bain Street. Bain Street is like the ghetto where Mr. Dr. Miles Monroe was born, and the houses back there, they were about 10 feet by 10 feet, and they were sitting on rocks. He actually talked about the rocks. Rats would get underneath and come in there, and he slept with rats. It was crazy. But just to go to Bain Street in a limo and get out in the hood and walk around, Mr. Lance and I did that, and I was crying the whole way, because I was paying homage to a man that meant so much to me. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get to that story some other time, sir. But right now, can we all give Mr. Nelson a hand before I get so cried up over here because it's emotional? Sir, thank you so much for being on the call today. And I'm going to do it in the weeks to come. I got some planned about him.
Definitely. It's such my honor. And you guys know the giant that Mr. Al Thomas is, just to be able to bring that story up and the name and the heart of who he is. They say you can never really know the heart of a giant until you're actually confronted in the jungle. And he's definitely confronted so many and been able to bless so many people. I've been off of, I'm so wired this morning. I'm so wired and excited about, I don't know if, how this is, the gallery is supposed to, the gallery, are we doing this right? How are we doing this? How's it showing up for you guys?
Perfect.
Pictures, everything's good? Okay. I have been like wired, because the main thing about our lives, more so than anything else, for those that are really taking copious notes and want to deep dive this morning, is the reverence and the adulation, I would say the adoration that I have for Mr. Al Thomas, and you guys hear this every time I get on and anybody else gets on, but it goes into the lessons that I want you guys to get of understanding how to become an impact player, how to give, and you can write this down, giving more than you ever take. Giving more than you ever take, as a follow-up, it's really a matter of learning. We go tit for tat. You get into relationships. They could be business relationships. They could be, personal, intimate relationships. They can be with your children. They could be with any relationship, a relationship with a rock, but so many times when you get frustrated, you start doing a calculation, right? You know how much I gave, how much time I gave, what gifts I did, how I stood and held space for you, but you didn't hold space for me. And I'm there for you. And it's like, the law of reciprocity is like, this is not a fair relationship. I'm giving more than I'm getting back. Does anybody know these conversations? Are you guys with me on that? Every one of us have been in one of those conversations. Here's what you need to understand. If you ever need to hold someone hostage, listen what I'm saying. If you ever need to hold somebody hostage for what you did for them, you shouldn't have freaking done it. You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. You know, that's what you need to understand more than anything else. You know, people do that in ACN, your relationship with ACN. Do you know how much time I've put into this? How much money I've put into this? How many hours I've put into this, and I'm not getting a return? Well, let's understand that if you want to play the piano in Carnegie Hall and you've never played the piano, stupid, you got to put in your time. If you've never done network marketing, forgive me for being so, I'm on one, but you got to understand my day started at 3:30 a.m. What time did your day start? My day ended last night at 12:30 a.m. What time did your day end? And it's because I'm on this rampage right now of really not just talking about it, but being about it in regards to starting this new book in my life. I had to go and have one of my assistants create this calendar because I started seeing all of my appointments. And these are lessons for you. Learn from my lessons. It's like when you truly want to be up to something in life, you start making contracts. And when I say contracts, like, Dom, I'm gonna give you a call back, or Manny, I'm gonna give you a call, or let's catch up over here. I'm gonna give you a call in a little bit. I'll text you back. Let me get back to you as soon as I finish this project. But when you're really up to something in life, you start to find out your days are so impacted, you really can't get back to somebody for 3 days if you're gonna keep your contracts. So if your house isn't in order, if you aren't keeping a calendar, you know, if you got so much time that you could just get back to anybody when you can get back to them, you really don't have a life. Your life is just pretty empty. You're just a voyeur watching other people. When you're living your life and living on purpose and serving at the highest level and giving back. I did a call this morning at 4 a.m. It was a world-class summit call of very high frequency individuals. And when I say that, without getting into money, they're all over a high 6, 7, and 8 figures was on that call. And I was the keynote speaker. And I really understood, and this is just one example. This is a call that started at, now I had, if I could, just to give you an idea, so you have an idea, let me see if I can find it here. I think I have control on my screen. I just want to give you an idea. This isn't even my calendar, by the way. This was just my notes. Let's see if I have, move it over here. I want to give you guys an idea here. So if I go to, just sharing with you a snippet of the way my day started, okay? Can you guys see that? 6'5". Al, can you see that? Okay. So my day started. Okay, so my day started at 3:30, 3 o'clock with meditation and prayer. I didn't finish until 12:30. And people are like, why didn't you text me? Why didn't you call me back? I'm sorry. I'm living a life. My day started at 4 a.m. I had a writing session at 5 a.m. for my book. I was to do cardio at 6 a.m. and another meeting at 7 a.m. Do you understand that my 4 a.m. did not finish until 6:30? And my 7 o'clock finished 60 seconds before this call. 60 seconds before this call. And I had to run and use the restroom and had to text Mr. Thomas and say, I'm gonna be a few minutes late to get my coffee. So I'm just being transparent. What we don't plan for, when we create a plan, and you can write this down, it's called the X factor. And the X factor is known as the unexpected. Everybody has a perfect plan when they start in ACN. Everybody has a perfect plan when they start a lifestyle. Everybody, when they want to get in shape and they want to work out. Everybody starts a plan, but you know, you buy a car, but you forgot that you're going to need a tune-up. You forgot that the brakes are going to run you $400, you know, in regards to, you know, someone like Mr. Al Thomas, $1,000 for some brakes. You forgot that you're going to need you're going to have to, maintain. You forgot you're going to need a garage. You forgot that if you don't have a garage, you're going to need a cover. You forgot that you're going to have to, there's going to be maintenance on it. We don't take in the X factor. All we saw is we saw the car and we bought it. You say you want to work out, you got a membership, and all of a sudden you realize you don't have the proper workout gear. You realize that you don't have the right, nutrition. oh my God, to eat the food that I need to eat. And I need to eat 5 times a day in increments. And now I got to measure how much I'm eating throughout the day. Oh my God, now I got to eat certain, what are you telling me? I need to get some, I got to get turmeric for inflammation. And now I got to go and get, the vitamin C to make sure that I'm maintaining. And now I got to get the energy pills, and I got to get the pre-workout, and I got to get a specific kind of, well, do I get soy or do I get whey? Oh my freaking God. You don't prepare for the X factor of the unexpected things that come in. See, I had to plan and put in between there, what could I shift around? Now my day that was supposed to end at 7 p.m. and start my writing session at 7:30 when my first break has been pushed back to about 10 o'clock before I even start my writing session. And that's just today, and it's a Friday. What does your day look like to generate what I call, and you can write this term down, real rapid results? Not real activity, but what are the results that you're putting in? I'm going somewhere with this morning. Please stick with me, okay? So I put in the X factor because I said, if I put my prayer here, and because I can pray in between and around, and while I'm talking to you, God, please talk through me so I could talk to them. I can pray all day. I don't need to take an hour. God is with me with everything I do. If I put him first, the way I operate, however you do it, do so. I said, okay, I could put my workout and cardio. Well, I can move that around. And then in turn, I've created an insulated situation where I can implement and make sure that I get that in. I have my cards right here. I don't know what you guys do, but I'm going somewhere with this where I have my deck of cards. My trainer's on this call, by the way, Dom. And I got my cards. 2 push-ups. 15. Joker, 15. Queen, 10. 3 push-ups all day. In between my calls. Drop and do them. Drop and do them. A whole deck. I don't stop until the day is done. If I get tired doing the push-ups, then I do crunches. I'll intersect them. All day. What are you doing? I don't have time to work out. You ain't got time to drop and do 2 push-ups? 10 push-ups cost you 10 seconds. I got to make sure the tempo and the body is taken care of to maintain this type of energy starting at 3:30 in the morning, and come at you with content and context that's going to be impactful, inspiring, uplifting, and rising above every level so that the devil doesn't come and attack us. What's your energy like? I've done a whole 2 days worth of work since 3:30. We're now just now starting at 9. What have you done this morning? So what we're looking at is being able to maintain, sustain, and escalate. Maintain, sustain. That means not just arrive, but be able to stay there. Not just get to ETL, but stay there. Not get to RD, but stay there. Not to get to RD and bounce in and out of qualifications. Stay there. Not get to RVP and wonder, oh, I've achieved something. You ain't achieved jack, and stay there. Not just get to SVP. Our job, my job, Mr. Al Thomas' job is to bring you the wisdom so that you don't have to go through what so many of us had to in bouncing in and out between sustain and maintaining, but get to the escalate, where you have momentum. That's your magic word for making money, and everything else in this business is, how do I create momentum that drives me through my obstacles and still maintain having to go to my job, still maintain having to take care of my kids, still maintaining my health, still maintaining that I look beautified and pretty, and I did my facial, and I got my mask, and I got my hair done and my nails done, and then I'm doing all that. How do I do all of that? Because if you just sit back, you're overwhelmed if you don't have the preparation beforehand of what you're going to do to attack your day. See, I have my list taken care of last night. I knew what I had to do before I closed my eyes. No matter how tired I am, it's an atomic habit. Do you create your preparation? I'm going to get into my garden of peas. Do I create my preparation so I know what I'm doing throughout the entire day, so that the priority, that piece that's in my garden, the priorities, you can write that down, it's called priorities, generates the results that I'm looking for? Do I make sure that I keep water around me so I don't just go grab the first soda or juice, to make sure that I have my gallon of water before the day is out? Do I have my chlorophyll that's sitting on my desk to make sure that I put the chlorophyll in there to make sure that I have that in there? Do I make sure that I have my other, keto juice or powder put in there to make sure that I can keep the water and keep me going where I'm going? Do I keep everything in my space, or do I just go and grab the first thing I can because I hadn't eaten all day, so I'll go grab a McDonald's, or I grab something that's quick, or do I keep my nuts around me to make sure that I have all the things around me to make sure that I don't sit up there and just fall into bad habits out of just accessibility because it's fast? Get my fast food, get my fast money, get my fast drinks, get my fast this. Do I make sure my environment, you might want to write down environment, is your environment created conducive for you to win? When I look at that, and I look at now, and now what I shared, there's nothing I'm going to talk about or I'm sharing to impress you. It's just to impress upon you what I'm doing. You do what you need to do. I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. To align myself with greatness, I have to create an environment that is going to serve me to be great. To make sure that my attitude is intact and my conversation is intact. And I'm listening and I'm having these conversations as I'm going through the first conversation and seeing that it went for 2.5 hours. It was scheduled for an hour. If I did not plan on that X factor, then I could have easily been rushed, cut short, or not in position to serve at the highest level. They all got on. All 30 of these titans, of these kings and queens, financial worlds dominating in their own game. And I had to make sure that my attitude, my persona, the way I showed up, my conversation, overcame any glitches, any flaws, that my character showed up, not my charisma, not my sweet talk, not my sales pitch. But the character and the content, notice what I'm saying, the content. When you speak, is the content there? Is it done with the right context? Am I saying what other people, am I saying what I think other people want to hear? Or am I saying what they need to hear? That way I don't have to worry about bringing in the wrong person into my space, into my life. Some people are just excited. You get one business partner, two business partner, you're excited. Well, what happens, and if you back to my P's, I'm going to stick with when I say P's, you want to write down the P's, pre-qualification. Did you pre-qualify the people coming in on your team? You go and get a car, you're pre-qualified. You go buy a house, they're going to pre-qualify you. Why don't you pre-qualify the people that are going to come on your team? Then you don't have to worry about just ending up with low fruit and just ending up with any and everybody in your bed. Metaphorically, don't take it out of context. You do what you do with it. If the shoe fits, put it on. But you don't have to worry about people just showing up in your life and then sucking up your, I'm sorry, I meant to get qualified. They weren't pre-qualified. So now they're not qualified all the way up until the 30th day, and you're trying to figure out why you didn't get a check. They didn't do a presentation. They aren't willing to do an online presentation. They aren't giving me their list. Oh, if I could get $1 for every person, say, well, they don't want to give me the list. They don't want to give you the list. See, you got to understand, people are more coachable, the most coachable, the high coachable. They are the most high coachable person when they first give you their money. But because now you're doing everything backwards and you're going after them 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you gave them the opportunity, the worst mistake you could ever do. You gave your new person the opportunity to think for themselves because you did not tell them what they needed to do. Leaders tell them, we don't ask. Because we work from a space of belief and knowledge, not something we think might work. We work under a space and an umbrella called urgency, not emergency. Please write it down. We have an urgency to get you qualified. It's going to serve you. How is it going to serve me? 1, you're going to learn everything that you want to know about the products and the services. 2, it's going to position you to be able to get paid. 3, it's going to equip you to know the how to and how this thing actually works. Number 4, it's going to enable you that you don't need to rely on me ever again on how to be able to do it. There's so many advantages if you are willing to take advantage of this. So before we even launch into this business as partners, let me ask you something. What is your urgency to truly make this thing profitable? Because that's going to be your urgency to want to be coachable. And if you're coachable, it is a task-oriented business. And I'm going to tell you, we have a task within the first 24 hours, 48 hours maximum if you have a very intense life. But if you don't do this, then it's like buying a Betty Crocker cake and then putting it in the oven without flour. It's like putting it in the oven and you don't have sugar in it. It's like letting it sit in there, and it's like you didn't get qualified in your first 24, 48 hours. So I need you to understand that's like leaving a cake in the oven for the next 24 hours under broil. It's going to be quite nasty. So if you are not willing to follow the instructions on the back of the cake that says do this, this, they didn't just randomly. I mean, do you know how much it costs to add printing on the back of a box and then put it in fine print and give you all the directions and the Fahrenheit? Do you think they just did that for the sake of doing so? Or did you think they wanted to give you instructions that would be best suited for you to make the cake that they've already done 1,000 times to put it in mass production? Do you think the instructions we have for you to get qualified in 24 hours would probably serve you greatest to have the best cake? Do you think it's to your advantage to encourage you to earn the position of ETL within 7, 14 days, 30 days max? Choose your timetable so that you can show people that it works, receiving a check. Do you think it's to your advantage to give us your list and we can role play and I can go through the conversation if it makes you more comfortable of what we're going to say, not what I'm going to say, what we're going to say to your prospects, so that you can have security and confidence in what we are going to do to duplicate and create a conveyor belt so we can have 20 cakes coming out, so we can have 20 Fords coming out, so we can have 20 Teslas coming out in less than 30 days versus you building your first car in the next 20 years like you're the original Ford. I don't know. It just kind of makes sense to me that if you want leadership, and you said the main concern coming in is that, am I going to get the support? Am I going to get the leadership? Do they have a system? The question is not, do we have a system after 27 years? The question is not, do you have the support after millions of people? The question is, are you going to follow the system? Are you going to follow the instruction? And are you going to trust the leadership? And no, I did not come to this party to do it for you. I came to show you how to do it so you can do it for yourself. It says independent representative at the top of the contract, not dependent representative at the top of the contract. Don't ask me why you didn't get paid and you did not read all of the bylaws. You didn't read all of the flow charts. You didn't click. The only thing you've done to go into your back office is see if your customers have shown up. But had you dropped $750,000 to have the third highest monetized back office, it was your company. For anyone that understands ownership, you opened up you came and said, this is Joyce's Pies. This is Patricia's Burgers. This is Sergio's Hamburgers. This is Dave's Tacos. You had to buy the building, put your name on it, and you had to go and buy everything in it. And in order in today's society of the 21st century, you needed to have a web presence. So you hired someone for social media, you hired somebody for all of compliance, you hired somebody to build you a website. And you had intentions on going global, so you had to pay a lot of money to have it divvied up in multiple languages. In some places, you can't sell burgers. You can only sell tacos, depending on where you are. You may only have utilities. You may only have cell phone. You may only have flash in South America. So you have to really pay a lot of attention to what goes into that site. Would you guys agree with that? I mean, we got to pay a lot of attention if you want to build something this mammoth, to have a tank large enough to keep expanding with the hopes that franchises will keep buying so that you can have billions of people served called McDonald's. And in the 21st century, you have no business unless you have a web presence. And with COVID on top of that, that just upped the ante by 70% overnight of having a virtual business. You take all that into account, and you had to pay $750,000 just to get it off the ground. Do you think you would miss one misspelled word in the website? Don't you think if you had to pay $750,000, you would know every inch of the back office? What amazes me is 99% of the people in this company don't even know what's in their back office, but got 1,000 freaking questions and want all the support. I'm going to cry to their upline like a mother or father. I can't tie my shoes. I fell. Could you help me? I've fallen and I can't get up. When can you do a presentation? Can you talk to this person for me? I got a three-way. I need a three-way. I need a three-way. I need a three-way. I need a three-way. Hold it. Let me understand something. You've been in for like how long? And you need one three-way? You didn't even ask for it. And now I'm supposed to just jump and be like, enjoy that you finally got one person out of 7 billion people on this planet interested in changing their life, that you have not pre-qualified, that you have not sent a video to, that you did not have the gall, for lack of words, because there's women on here, to actually go and have are you serious? And you want to waste my time and you want to lie to me and make me believe that you actually are about to do something with your 1 or 2 prospects per freaking month. Are you serious? Why don't you go and put in some work, fail forward for about 2 months, fail drastically to the point that you just not are going to quit. You just don't know what the hell to do because you have no success, and make me believe that I'm actually investing my time in somebody worthy of investing my time in. How about that? That me being Al Thomas myself, now we have something to talk about. I have talked to 10 people a day, like you said, 70 people a week. I've talked to 140, that makes 210, 280 people last month. And I've gotten about 20 customers and I have nobody in my business. We need to have a conversation. You seem like someone who is not going to quit. Whether you help me or not, I'll talk to 500 this month. Now we need to talk so that you aren't wasting your time. But you've only talked to 20 people this month and you want me to be excited for you. That comes out to about 5 people a week. And you want me to do what for you? No, we're good. Can I just give you a hug so you can move on? So you could just, because you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I don't even like that vortex. I avoided that one so many times. Let's talk after you're serious. Because right now you're playing in the curious field. I hear your mouth. You sound good. I mean, you have a compelling conversation. It's almost convincing. You almost have me convinced that you're going to do something. Wow. How long did you practice this script? Because the way you do it, you can write this down. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So you must do everything this way, or some things this way. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. And so as I was up this morning and I was having this conversation, I realized in my second conversation was 2 hours. It started at 7 and ended 2 minutes before this call, as we're talking about a diversified stream of income and investing. And I'm talking to my partner and I was like, I'm getting ready to jump. I'm getting ready to jump. I'm getting ready to jump. I said, but every time I look at it, and I'm talking now because I know some of you feel the same way about ACN. I said, but every time I'm overwhelmed. And I know some of you feel that way about ACN. It's like, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much information. And I said, I trust you with my life. I need you to treat me like a kindergarten, and whatever you tell me to do, I will do from this investment perspective. He said, the first thing you need to do, Byron, is identify your weaknesses. I said, I already know I'm emotional. It's terrible in investing. Got it. Terrible. I'm an emotional wreck. He said, we're clear on that. he said, what else? I said, well, the reason why I chose you in the first place when we did business is because the confine, or if you will, what I built as far as my structure, what he said, identify the great things too. I said, what I'm great at is identifying people that have skill sets that I don't have. The skill set that you have is the discipline and the structure. I have the creative side. That discipline and structure, you might want to write down focus and discipline. He said, that's going to be the thing that you're going to need to master. He said, what's really amazing about that from an investing perspective, it's not just in investing, it's in everything. And we had a very deep conversation. That's why it was so prime. God is so amazing because he prepped this conversation here with the previous one. And in learning this new technique of investing, which is where you generate 70 to 90% per day, he said, the greatest thing you're going to have is discipline. But I'm going to tell you why it's going to be amazing for you from the field in which you're in, being network marketing and ACN. And I said, why? He said, because the discipline of being able to do this, he said, the reason why you won or are winning to whatever degree that is in ACN is because unlike the majority of people, you built it on two things. The first one forced you to pay attention to the second. And it separates you. Why there is only roughly, don't quote me, close to 70 SVPs worldwide after 27 years. And so few people attain that is because less than 0.002% approach it the way you approached it. And the only way they can win is if they were someone like Al Thomas, who had extensive experience before he came to the table in doing what you did by accident. And I said, wow. I said, let's talk to me. He said, you built it off of a cause. We're going to say that cause, for lack of any other words right now, is called freedom. You wanted to be free more than anything else. You didn't even do it for the money. He said, imagine, I'm getting really into this. Is anybody getting this? Are y'all with me? Is anybody, okay? He said, imagine, why Cameron, my son, is good in investing in his mediums that he invests. He's a gamer. And anyone that has children on here, and some of you are still big children inside of you, they're gamers. Now imagine a gamer. A gamer plays games all day. You have to rip them from the game. You have to threaten them. And here's what's even crazier. They play for free. They were never playing for money. It was always to do what, Byron? What did you do when you played the game of freedom? What was the back end of that for you to get free? You fell in love with learning a skill set. He said, not 90, the other 99% plus that don't win, they're looking for the money. They're chasing the dollar. They're impatient. They have emergencies. They haven't even learned how to put the bait on the hook, and they're throwing the hook in the water and then pissed off while they sit there for 3 hours trying to figure out why not one fish has bitten the hook. They can see you coming. The hook doesn't even have any bait. You didn't even camouflage it. You're so inexperienced and an amateur at the game, you actually have a big ass hook, not even a small one. Some of you throw a big hook out there and are hoping that somebody's going to bite your hook. He said, you got to learn how to fall in love with something based on, yes, your why, but your cause. Why are you doing this? Because if you really fall in love with that, it doesn't matter how many no's you get. It doesn't matter how many accomplishments you get. It doesn't matter how high you go. It never stops. If your wife, if it's John Q, you know, getting his son in transplant of a heart, if your child, if your mother needs a transfusion, if your father just had a triple bypass, you know, my partner is actually in Florida right now, and his mother, his grandmother was in was in one of those homes. And you know, in the homes is where they've been attacked the most with the COVID. And he's sitting there and he's just like, I sent my mother, she's been gone for 3 months. I got on a plane 30 days ago and I'm here. And now it's been costing me $10,000 a month. Fortunately, I know how to make money. We know how to make money, B. And we can flip a dollar because it was never about the money. It was about developing the skill set. The skill set, and as a gamer, they're sitting up there, it's like, oh, 1 centipede, 2 centipedes, oh, first level, second level, third level, fourth level. It never stops. Nobody cares when you're playing a game of life to win at the game of life. Nobody is caught up on your title of, oh, I'm an ETL. You ain't done nothing. The game didn't stop there. I'm RD. What, are you stuck there? Your game of life just got paralyzed. You just got stuck. You think you have accomplished something. What did you prove to yourself? That you know how to quit as soon as you get a little success? Now you're intelligent and think you know you can talk about something because you have 2 numbers or 2 letters behind your name? See, there's a difference between those that become iconic and those that become RDs, RVPs, and SVPs. Anybody that knows me knows when I was RD, I never wore my pin. When I was an RVP, I never wore my pin. My SVP pin, I don't know where it is. Now my SVP ring, that's a different story. But my SVP pin, I really have no clue where it is. And I probably won't care until they open up and have another pin, because it was the insatiable appetite to become the best at who I was born to be. I dislike anybody associating me to Byron Nelson's. I'll tell you this, for those of you that have been in under 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, there's not a soul that saw me that when they came into business did not think I was already an SVP. The title meant nothing. It was expected. You should have a level of expectation when people hear you and talk to you, with you having developed your skill set and understanding of this industry and this company and the success that you are out to obtain, that there is no title big enough other than your name. Does Oprah have a title? Yes, her name is Oprah. Does Ted Turner have a title? Yes, his name is Ted Turner. Like him or hate him. The people that have attained extraordinary, massive life appeal that has become iconic, that has changed history, they don't have a title. They don't need to be called doctor. Even Martin Luther King, he was not called Dr. Martin Luther King. It was Martin, it was so large, it just, Martin Luther King, that's Martin Luther King. You see him in the streets, you say, hey, Dr. Martin, yeah, that's Martin Luther King. You see LeBron, it's like, that's LeBron. Michael Jordan, that's Michael Jordan. When people see you, what do they see? Do they see somebody that is the greatest servant, the greatest ball of love, the greatest person? I mean, a person who goes beyond the call of duty, the person that if I had to go, if you were looking at, I mean, just base it on, you know the truth, okay? Don't live off the high of your own supply of your potential, okay? Let's live off the last 30 days of the month of May. And if you were on this call and you weren't in the business, but your face was on this cover, and you went through all 4 pages of the people that are on here, based on the way you committed, as I scroll through to see every person that's on here that can hear my voice, and if you had to scroll through every picture and every name on here, and you had an out-of-body experience, and you had to go to war, and you had to choose 6 people to win the war, would you choose you based on May? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. Not based on accomplishment, not, oh, I'll take Al Thomas and Byron Nelson first. No, no, no. And not even me, honestly. We aren't talking about titles. Take titles, strip them, throw them out the window based on, let's take everybody's report card of work ethic, of urgency, of sweat equity, of development, of self-empowering, of getting, I want to curse so bad, getting stuff done, task-oriented. That when you turn to the left or right, I never have to worry about this one right here. This one right here, hook or crook, do or die till the wheels fall off. The only way that I'm out this game is based on God taking me off this earth. I'm here, and I'm here to get things done. With or without you, it's a wrap. You don't have to worry about whether I'm going to show up on the other side of the finish line. Not I'm still in the business, please. Please, please don't. If I ever hear that another person, please don't ever say that to me. We probably will never talk again in your life if you say that to me in this business or anything, because I'm still in. That's like me going to the gym with Dom and I'm in there and I'm like all suited and I'm not going to work out. I know somebody like this. I'm still in. I'm here. So you here to work out? Nope. I just want you to know I'm serious about working out. At some point, I am going to work out. I'm here. It's the starting point of something great. And I'll show up next month and show you that I'm here again. Yes, I will. Consistent with it. But if you had to choose 6 people to go to war with and your life was on the line to get it done in a time frame, it had to be done on a birth line, on a deadline before 2020 closed. Who would be the 6 that you would choose? Would you choose yourself based on attitude, work ethic, sweat equity, task-oriented, completion, failure, risk, mentality, attitude, work ethic, sweat equity, risk, reward, acknowledgement, servitude, loving, appreciative, gratitude, amazing, always wanting to see that person when that person showed up, know that that person showed up suited to go to work, knowing that they're there earlier than everybody else, knowing they'll stay later than everybody else, know they're reading when nobody else is reading, knowing they're doing what everybody else won't do to get what everybody else won't get. Who are those 6 people? Are you that person? Because that's what I got out of this last conversation, why I was up at 3:30 this morning, why I shut off and I'm not answering texts or phone calls. It's like, look, if you aren't dying, you might not get a text back from me. Because I'm in a zone. I got somewhere to go. I can't even justify picking up the phone, texting or calling anybody while I'm in this lab, while I'm in this zone. I'm trying to do more than just exist. I am here to cure Ebola. I am here to cure AIDS. I am here to cure COVID. There are millions of lives at stake. Let's start with my own. Let's start with my children. Let's start with, why the hell are you on this call? How serious are you about the information you're here to receive? And what will you do with it when you get off? It's easy to be seen. The truth is what's done when nobody sees you. I'm not worried. I'm not even concerned. I'm not even excited. I'm not even, encouraging you to be the person to go out there and get 50 customers in the next 30 days. Or I'm not even encouraging you to go out there and knock out 10 customers in the next 5 days. I'm not even here to tell you to go ETL in 7 days or less. I'm not even here to tell you you need to be RD in 90 days or less. I'm not here to tell you that. What I'm here to tell you is I prefer a person come to me and say, I got 30 no's and I got 2 yeses. I'm here. I've done 20 presentations and I got 5 people interested and 1 person got started this week. Consistently, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I have figured out, obviously, what does not work. I talked to all these people. What do I say to my mommy? What do I say to my daddy? What did I say to my best friends? I have a bunch of rich people. Can you have a presentation for real estate people? How about teachers? You know, I want to save the world, so I want to do something for some philanthropy. You know, how do I talk to people that are in nonprofits? You know, I've been trying to figure out how to talk to Negroes. How do you talk to some Black people, especially during this time? Because, you know, there's a lot of Black issues going on right now. Do we offer them how do I talk? And well, I'm Black too, so I'm just trying to figure out how I should talk to some other brothers, because you know they ain't really interested in nothing else right now except for protesting. And how do I talk to white people, because I'm white? Well, I'm Black and I'm talking about, well, I'm white. How do I talk to some Latinos? I really want to tap into the Latino marketplace. And do you have some leaders down in Peru? Do you know some people down in Venezuela? We aren't in Venezuela yet. Well, you know, when are we going to Venezuela? Because I know a whole lot of people in Venezuela. You know, I mean, acres of diamonds and 40 acres in a mule. You know, I'm from Thailand. You know, I'm from Thailand. You know, if we ever open up in Thailand, oh shit, boy, we're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it. I got a whole bunch of Thai people, and I know Filipinos, and I know, oh, it's the Philippines open yet? No? Okay, could you call me when the Philippines are open? Because I'm gonna get in and just, you know, I'm gonna wait until they open the Philippines. And I know some Russians too. Oh my God, are we in Russia yet? What part are we in? You know, no, but man, you know, I got people everywhere. It's just really, really, Jesus, we need prayer. We don't need no training. The key of what I'm sharing here, so that everybody is focused on what I want you to get, is that if you have discipline and you have focus and you get up and you have a skill set and you focus on the skill set and you develop your skill set and you focus in on truly understanding how to have impactful, inspiring, listen to the words, you might want to write them down, impactful, inspiring conversations. Once you do that, you reverse engineer the inertia of the universe to conspire for your success. I'm going to say that again because some of you guys might be on a different frequency here. You reverse engineer the inertia of the universe to conspire for your success. It raises up and elevates a whole nother consciousness where you don't have to look for people, they look for you. When you master the art of sharing and not selling and not convincing, the question is, have you stood in a space of sharing? And if you can count how many people you shared a gold mine with to change their family tree, you didn't believe that you had a gold mine. Because an unlimited gold mine, God's unlimited gold mine, he says, I'm going to give you X amount of time to go and get this gold. You can take as much as you like. And the more people you bless to tell about the gold mine, the more I'm going to bless you, because there's enough for everybody. You can't take it out in the time I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the next 7 days to go and take out as much gold as you can possibly take. The blessings that gold comes with will come in multitudes or multiples, predicated on how many other people you tell. Because if you told everybody on the planet, there's more gold than everybody on the planet can get out of it. So how many people can you tell? Because that's going to actually be the barometer for the blessings that I bless you with the gold that you shared. It's a very powerful concept. Is everybody getting this? Would you be that person that just runs into the mine and is like, look, you know, I don't have time to tell nobody. God gave me 7 days. I'm just going to go and take as much gold as I can. And you know what? I just need to take care of my family. I need to take care of me. You know how long I've been broke? You know how long I've been struggling? You know how long I've been trying to figure this out and figure out where the fault line is and where the gold was. And you finally give me the combination to the clip and you finally telling me exactly where it is. You telling me, and you want me to go and tell other people? I'll tell people as I'm running past them. But right now I got to go in there and get the gold. Or would you take the time to reach everyone you know for a day and then see who believes you, who doesn't believe you, and be like, I did my job. Now it's time for me to go to work. I'm going to get this gold. knowing that in order to max out God's his blessings upon you, you only need to be able to identify 6. The irony of that is on the board of directors of our marketing plan, you only need 6. You know what's amazing about that is the way I live in God's number 7. You plus 6 is 7, the number of completion. Hence, you are now an SVP and you have completed the mile. But you got to go tell 700. In fact, it says you need to be able to forgive somebody 77 times. It's kind of amazing. If you really look at it, you might want to pay attention. Mastering a skill set. Where are we? I got 5 minutes. Mastering the skill set of a conversation. That's why it's called Follow-Up Fridays, because I can never finish in one setting. It's just on one. I'm just really on one. Here's what I want to leave you with in my last 5 to 7 minutes of this conversation. We're on the 5th of June. You have your whole month ahead of you. Now, here's the blessing. The blessing is you're in the beginning of the month. What's my curse then, Sir Nelson? You were in the beginning of the month the previous 5 months and you didn't do jack with it. So how is this month going to look different for you? You're going to need to learn a new skill set of how to work your business online. You might want to pick up some books. I'm not going to recommend any. I'm just going to tell you, you might want to go look for them. Do your own research. I'm not going to sit there and give you everything. But there's amazing books on, and I know many of you are, maybe even have a distaste for the word sales. But let me tell you something. Anyone that has a problem with the word sales, how'd you get your wife? How'd you get your husband? How'd you get your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or anybody else, or your partner that you're with? I'm going to tell you something. You sold something. So get used to it. And somebody bought. Here's a really powerful conversation. In any conversation that you have, either you buy what they're sharing or they buy what you're sharing. There is no truce. Either you buy their ideas, their ideologies, their beliefs, or they buy yours. Now, there's a lot of factors into that, right? Who's more equipped, who's more knowledgeable, who knows about what the hell they're talking about. But really what it comes down to is not even the depth of knowledge. In most cases, it really comes down to the height of conviction and excitement. You buy the one who has the most excitement and the greatest conviction, and you figure out the rest in the journey. The woman, I'm just going to use hypothetically, does not take, generally speaking, now this day and age is a different world, please, don't take it off the grid, just stick with me in my story. I was doing a symposium and I was saying, the man that is chosen by the woman, though the man is supposed to choose the woman, who the woman chooses in the men that are all courting her is not the most pretty, not the most attractive, not the most rich, not the person who has even the most talent. She chooses the one who does not do it in a way that is offensive, okay? But the one that is the most perseverant. You're my wife. You are my wife. I will continue to show you that you are my wife. Maybe you don't realize it yet that you're my wife, because so very few men know how to powerfully choose. They want to play the field. So when you find that man who loves that woman more than anybody else, she chooses that man. That should be the cycle, though we live in a very saturated world. Nod your head, gentlemen, if y'all know what I'm talking about here, okay? The one that's going to win in this business is the one who is going to be the most persistent, persevered individual that has a bone in his mouth like a dog that has chosen his dream and chosen this vehicle and knows how to be unstoppable in their character of pursuit. Listen to what I just said. It's a very powerful conversation. Who knows how to be unstoppable in their character of pursuit. And in that, you will be up early in the morning learning your skill set. You will be up learning how to sell. Now, why did I bring up the word sell? versus share. Because when I want you to take it and keep it in its context, you're going to have to learn not how to sell per se, the business, but how to sell yourself. And you're going to have to learn the words that work, because the new platform that you're going to have to work your business from, being virtual, is different than the world that we've been living in for the last 27 years, face to face. The world we're living in, where you have PBRs, the world you're living in, where you have BOMs, the world you're living in, where you had national conventions. You're now living in a world that they can see you, and you can have actually even more impact, reach more people, have more success than you've ever had in your life. Now, this is going to weed out a whole lot of people. I hope you guys get this. I'm in my last 3 minutes of this conversation. I hope you guys get this, because this is the stinger. And I'm going to prove it true. And Mr. Thomas and a few other people, you're going to have to learn a new skill set that will make you 10 times wealthier than anybody has been in the last 7 years of ACN. And it's there. You will never find a better time to do it, because the one that learns how to, why is that and how is that possible, Mr. Nelson? Before, you had to drive to the PBRs, you had to drive to the BOMs, you had to make time for one-on-ones, you had to make time for two-on-ones, you had to get other people involved, you had to wait for your upline, you had to wait for this, you had to wait for that. Right now, you are so freaking blessed. You don't need an upline. You need a computer, half a brain, and perseverance, and unstoppable, insatiable appetite for freedom, and get on this freaking computer, and you can reach 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 people straight through this screen and never have to drive anywhere if you learn the skill set of communicating, conveying, sharing this information and this message with conviction, belief, and knowledge, with integrity, and be able to work your business on 2 hours a day and make more money than anybody that worked it 10 hours a day. Close your computer and go play with your kids and have fun. That's my follow-up Friday. I hope y'all got a lot out of it. I got a lot to do.
Wow. Woohoo! Sir, we appreciate you so much. And you know what? We echo the same message. We're going to make more wealthy people with a brain, cell phone, and what we already got in the industry. This, I preached it on Wednesday. You're the king and queen. You're the king. AC is the pawn. AC is the queen. I'm telling you, they gave us a right opportunity. Folks, it's all there in your hands. What's that in your hand? That's what he said. Hey, I want to thank Mr. Nelson. Can we show some love real quick? Show him some love. Come on, y'all. Show some love. No. Come on. Let's show him some real love. That was, oh, my God. See, I'm telling you, a new era, say a brand new world right before, since March 18th. Look at you. Hey, I want to shout out real quick to Mr. Sergio there in Mexico. We got all our friends on from Japan on. We got people on from Okinawa. We got people on from the UK. We got people on from Canada. Thank you so much, You folks in the U.S., thank you. And I can't forget the IBOs in India. Tonight at 6 o'clock, right back here, we're going to invite everybody to come back with your favorite libation for